Hey everybody, video here for you today. This is follow-up to my video that I did on Saturday, my ancient history news video, where I talked about the coronavirus outbreak in Egypt and how it was affecting the tourism industry and some tourists, especially on a cruise ship. Well, today we're going to do an update on that, and I know a lot of people aren't talking about the coronavirus on YouTube just because their videos won't get monetized, but I don't give a rat's ass about that. But here is Luxor today. Let's go over to a news article. Now, here is the latest update, and I just think this is important. I've had about 4 or 5 messages about people traveling to Egypt, some in a few weeks and some in about 6 weeks, and I just don't know what to tell them. It's all up to the individual, but I'm just going to supply some information here. When tourists in Luxor woke up on Monday to find themselves confined to their hotels or cruise ships on the Nile, it seemed that Egypt was taking extreme measures to confront the coronavirus in the ancient town at the heart of its tourism industry. Government doctors were sent out to test visitors, hoping to stop the spread of the illness, yet only a fraction of the people ended up getting tested, and even before any of the results came back, business quickly returned to normal, with tourists unleashed en masse to visit the town's fabled temples. The contradictory and often chaotic approach in Luxor reflects a major dilemma facing Egyptian officials. Can the government continue to welcome cash-carrying visitors at the same time it tries to battle a looming health crisis in the jewel of its tourism industry? Luxor, home to the iconic Valley of the Kings and King Tut's tomb, is now the center of the country's coronavirus outbreak. On Friday and Saturday, 45 passengers and crew members aboard a riverboat, the A. Sarah, tested positive for the virus and were taken by military air transport to an isolation unit at a hospital on Egypt's north coast. With the outbreak unfolding, Egypt's tourism minister visited one of Luxor's temples on Sunday to declare that it was safe and open to visitors. Thank God people are here, he said. Beside him, Egypt's health minister warned people not to exaggerate about the scale of the crisis. We will get through this together. But even as they spoke, the cruise boat at the center of the outbreak was docked at a nearby riverbank with 136 people quarantined on board, stoking fears that Egypt could be on the verge of a major problem. The sense of urgency heightened on Sunday night when a 60-year-old German tourist died at a hospital in the Red Sea resort of Hurghada, Egypt's first fatality. The tourist had come from Luxor. The contrasting scenes in Luxor in recent days illustrated the country's precarious balancing act in the face of the outbreak. Even as doctors administered the tests on Monday, they did not want to get in the way of anyone's vacation. Yara Ahmed, an Egyptian journalist at a film festival in Luxor, said that of the 400 people at her hotel, only 10 were tested, and once those tests were administered, everyone was allowed to leave immediately, even the people who had been tested. In the past week or so, at least 29 tourists who visited Egypt in February tested positive after returning home. The infected tourists are mostly American and French, and several of them traveled on the A. Sarah, the Nile cruiser now quarantined at Luxor. The World Health Organization says that the virus came to the boat via a Taiwanese American woman who left Egypt on February 1st. Egypt says it did not learn of her infection until March 1st, and the first infected crew members were discovered on the A. Sarah on March 6. Even so, some Egyptians are skeptical that their government is telling them the truth. Under the nation's authoritarian president, the news media has been largely muzzled, and the government has repeatedly hidden the truth to avoid national embarrassment or censure. It says the coronavirus is posing a new threat to the tourism industry. A tour operator on the Nile said several of his customers had quit their river tours on Monday and were flying home. Other companies in Luxor have canceled their tours entirely. On Sunday, the Egyptian Travel Agents Association said tourist bookings were down 80% compared to the same time last year. In Luxor, the virus has sowed fear among the workers in the tourism industry. State-run media outlets have reported that some cruise workers quit their jobs in recent days, fearing they might get ill. On Monday evening, the town wore a deserted look. Egypt, like other places in the world, the concern is growing, and here is a pic from Cairo on Sunday when people are waiting to get tested for the coronavirus, And that pic speaks 1,000 words. So it seems there are concerns growing in Egypt, just as other places in the world. Not enough testing, what to do with people that have been tested, how to track down people, and who they've been in contact with. This is going to become a real mess. Hope you thought that was informative, and you all have a really nice day.